Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you're interested in someone, but when the time comes to flirt, your confidence goes out the window? It feels like flirting is reserved for the extroverts, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that's a huge misconception. Flirting isn't just for the naturally confident people, it's a skill that anyone, even the shyest guys, can master. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to flirt with confidence, even if you're shy. Stick around, because I'll be revealing some powerful techniques that will change the way you approach women forever. Let's set the scene. You're at a party, or maybe you're at the coffee shop, and there's someone across the room that you find attractive. You want to go up to them and start a conversation, but as soon as you think about it, your heart starts racing. You feel awkward and self-conscious. Your palms get sweaty, and you start second-guessing everything you might say or do. This scenario might sound familiar, right? We've all been there. But the truth is, flirting is not about being the loudest or the most outgoing person in the room. It's about showing someone you're interested and creating a connection in a natural, comfortable way. And while this might feel intimidating, it doesn't have to be. Flirting is a subtle art, and it's something you can learn and apply, even if you're more on the shy side. You might be wondering, how can I possibly flirt confidently when I'm feeling nervous or shy? Well, I've got some great news for you. Flirting is actually more about body language and the way you approach someone than it is about being verbally brilliant or super charismatic. If you're ready to learn exactly how to start flirting like a pro, even if you're introverted or shy, then stay tuned. I'm going to give you 3 key tips that will help you build attraction, connect with someone, and show interest without feeling awkward. Plus, at the end of the video, I'll share a bonus tip that can completely change how you interact with women, and you won't want to miss it. Now, you may think that flirting is just about trying to impress someone or using clever pickup lines. But I'm here to tell you that real flirting is far from that. It's not about overwhelming someone with your charm or performing. It's about making small, subtle gestures that show you're interested, but not desperate. And yes, these techniques can absolutely work, even if you're not naturally outgoing or confident. By the time we're done here, you'll be armed with real, actionable techniques that will make flirting feel natural, and you'll have the confidence to approach anyone without fear of rejection. But before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing tips like these. So let's dive right in. Tip 1. Create the imaginary bubble. Let's start with the first key to flirting with confidence: creating what I like to call an imaginary bubble. This is a technique that helps you focus on the person you're speaking to and make them feel like they're the only one in the room. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is an imaginary bubble? Simply put, it's about creating a sense of closeness and connection with the person you're talking to. You can think of it as a mental space between you and the other person that isolates the two of you from the rest of the environment. It's like you're zoning in on each other. Imagine that you're in a crowded room, but when you're talking to her, it feels like there's no one else around. Why is this so important? Because showing someone that you're fully present and engaged makes them feel valued. It's one of the simplest ways to build attraction. It's not about using fancy words or trying to impress her with your accomplishments. It's about showing her that you are genuinely interested in her and that she's the focus of your attention. So how do you create this bubble? One way is through your body language. Stand closer to her. Around 1 to 2 feet away is perfect, so that you're physically close enough to create a sense of intimacy but not so close that it feels uncomfortable. By standing shoulder to shoulder, you're signaling that you're focused on her. When you do this, you're showing her that you're invested in the conversation and that she's the most important thing in that moment. It's nonverbal communication that speaks louder than words. And believe me, she'll notice. When you create this bubble, it's as if the whole room fades away, and it's just the two of you in your own little world. Now that you've got this imaginary bubble set up, let's move on to the next step. You're engaging her with your presence, but how do you take it a step further? How do you make her feel like you're really into her without coming on too strong? This leads us to the next flirting technique: breaking the touch barrier. Tip 2. Break the touch barrier. Touching can be a powerful tool when it comes to flirting. It's one of the most direct ways to show someone that you're interested, and yet, many guys shy away from it because they're worried about making things awkward. But here's the truth: touching is normal, and when done right, it can make you come across as more confident and approachable. Now, I'm not talking about being overly physical or inappropriate. This is about subtle, light touches that show you're interested in a non-threatening way. For example, when you're talking to her, lightly touch her arm or her shoulder when asking a question or making a joke. Why does this work? Because it's a way of breaking the physical barrier without going overboard. It's a small, intimate gesture that lets her know you're comfortable with her, and it signals that you're paying attention to her in a more personal way. And here's the best part: this works even if you're shy. If you're asking her something like, "What was your name again?" or "Where are you from?" you can lightly touch her arm when you ask. It's subtle, not intrusive, and it helps break the physical tension that often exists when meeting someone new. This might seem awkward at first, especially if you've never done it before, but trust me, the more you practice it, the more natural it will feel. And don't worry, she'll notice this little touch, and it will make her feel more at ease with you. Now, the next tip is a bit of a game changer. While showing interest through body language and light touch is important, flirting is also about creating that sense of challenge. You don't want to come off as too eager or desperate, and that's where disqualifying her in a playful way comes into play. Tip 3. Disqualify her playfully. This next technique is something you may not have heard of before, but it can make all the difference. It's called disqualifying her. You might be thinking, why would I show disinterest if I'm trying to flirt? Well, here's the thing. Flirting is a dance of push and pull. You can't just show interest all the time because it makes you seem too available. To create attraction, there has to be a little mystery. Disqualifying her is essentially showing her that you're not interested in her just because she's talking to you. It's a way of teasing her and making her work for your attention. It shows that you're not easily impressed, and it makes her want to chase you a little. For example, let's say she says something like, "I'm a big fan of the Bears," and you happen to be a Seahawks fan. Instead of just agreeing with her or brushing it off, you can say something like, "Oh really? A Bears fan? This might not work out." Then you give her a playful smile. You're not actually rejecting her, you're just teasing her. And it works because it makes her curious. She'll wonder why you said that, and it'll get her interested in you. It's a playful way of showing that you're not just going to give her attention automatically. You're making her earn it, and that sense of challenge makes her more attracted to you. This technique is all about balance, showing her interest, but also making sure she knows you're not just available to anyone. It's a fun, subtle way to flirt and build attraction. So far, you've learned how to zone in on her and create that sense of connection, how to use light touch to build intimacy, and how to playfully disqualify her to keep her on her toes. But here's the thing: flirting is an ongoing process. And if you want to keep building that attraction, you need to keep practicing these tips consistently. Let's quickly recap what you've learned today. First, you learned how to create the imaginary bubble to zone in on her and show that you're focused on her. Second, you discovered how to break the touch barrier with a light touch that helps build intimacy without making things awkward. And third, you learned how to disqualify her in a playful way that keeps her interested and makes her chase you. Bonus tip now. I promised you a bonus tip, and here it is. Flirting is all about consistency. You can't just try these tips once and expect instant results. The more you practice these techniques, the more natural they will feel, and the more confident you'll become. If you want a quick and effective way to level up your flirting game, check out my Instagram, where I post daily tips and insights to help you improve your dating life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on future videos. Also, leave me a comment below and let me know, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to flirting? I'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, flirting with confidence is all about practice, and with these tips, you'll be on your way to flirting like a pro in no time.